Hi guys, focus on me. What is up? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be, I don't exactly know what I'm going to call it yet, but it is currently 5 o'clock. It is exactly 5:04. The girls and I just got home. Josh got home a little bit ago from work / childcare. Hi. And here we are. I'm going to kind of show you guys what our night looks like. I filmed one not too long ago, but a few things have changed. Hi. Not much, but like in the way of Sarah, things have changed with our schedule and things like that. And I kind of want to give you guys a update, a postpartum update, because it's been, oh gosh, it'll be 6 months on the 29th. So in 5 days, you're gonna be 6 months old in 5 days. You're so big. I have her in her little bouncer seat right here. I've been wanting to film like an actual sit-down video to talk about postpartum and stuff, but I feel like every time when I wake up in the morning during the weekend and I make the intention of wanting to film, it just doesn't feel right. I don't know. I feel like I've just been in a funk lately. But I was making dinner and felt like I should give you guys a postpartum update. So what has been going on? Let me move you guys as I'm cooking. It's a lot easier to talk about it when I'm actually busy doing something. Hi, let's fix you. Let's fix you right there. Yes. So what's been going on? Well, postpartum was rough this time around. Not as rough as it was with Eleanor, but it was still pretty rough. And I think I've mentioned it before that with Eleanor, I had postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety, undiagnosed and untreated. Like, I didn't come to terms with what I was going through until well after it had already come and gone. Let me actually be right back. I'm making shepherd's pie for dinner and I had to go get my frozen veggies. So, oh gosh, let's back up to freshly postpartum. Hey. I was anticipating having postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression because I had it with Eleanor, and that's another reason why I was pretty hesitant to have another baby, was because if you've been through postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety, especially postpartum depression, it is just really, really, really hard. And there's this stigma that there's a stigma if you are postpartum with taking medication, and you're quote unquote a bad mom if you need to take medication. You feel weak, you feel like a failure, you feel like you are doing your family and yourself a disservice by taking medication for that, which couldn't be farther from the truth. I am all for natural holistic healing, but when it comes to depression and stuff like that, modern medicine is amazing. So, firstly, postpartum, I had to go back in the day after we were discharged from the hospital because Sarah's bilirubin levels shot up. So she had to have phototherapy, and we were there for a full 24 hours, I think it was. So that was kind of hard. And then it was the middle of summer. Hi! go to carrots. Okay, let's backtrack to, we had to go back in for her bilirubin levels. We got discharged like after 24 hours after her levels went up, and she got the light therapy, and she was fine. But Josh immediately went back to work. Like, I want to say it was the very next day, maybe the day after. Either way, it was like right away he had to go back to work because we were smack dab in the middle of the busy farming season. And it's a family farm, and when it's a small family farm like that, or oh yeah, I'm sorry, or a family business, you can't just take a normal time off. Let's take this off, okay? Because I want you to pee on the potty like you normally would. Yep. And then we're gonna take this off, okay? So that was hard, and I was preparing myself for that all throughout my pregnancy, but it's hard once the time actually comes. And then thankfully, thank the Lord, my sister was here. I honestly don't know what I would have done if it weren't for my sister here this summer. She spent from August until October. Is it good? It's gonna be hot, please don't touch. It was like a good month and a half, 2 months that she was here with us, and because Josh was working 7 days a week, very long hours. So like it makes me want to, I get emotional, and it makes me want to cry just thinking about it, because I honestly don't know what I would have done without my sister here. So it was the first 6 weeks, it was rough. It was a hard transition. Peanut, help me? It's a hard transition. I thought none to one. Hi. Oh, I thought you were helping something behind your back.
Are you helping mommy? You're not very in frame there, babe, if you're shooting.
I was standing like this.
Hi.
Do you have anything you want to add to the postpartum?
Postpartum sucks.
I was just telling them, thank God Mickey was here.
I don't know if she's going to see this video, but we are
She will.
super thankful for...
She watches my videos.
Uh-huh.
She watches my videos.
We are still super thankful for the fact that Mickey was here to help out through the summer, because I was not here as much as
Telling them it
a
makes me
tending
emotional.
father should be, but work is work, and I was here as much as I could be.
Well, like I had said, it's a small family business / farm. I mean, it's not like
yeah, it's a family farm. It's a family business.
You can't. It's not like you could take off the normal paternity leave.
Right. No, we got home from the hospital, and I think that night I had to go out and help do some picking.
Yeah.
It was either that night or it was the
It
next,
was
the next day.
Well, so the day we got home from the hospital, like I had previously said, I had to go back with Sarah the following day because her bilirubin levels they shot up. And it was the day that Sarah and I got discharged from the hospital that you had to go out.
Right.
Please don't put your hand in there, it's hot. Had to go back out and pick. So Mickey was here, my sister was here from, it was like the beginning of August.
It was the second week of August,
half.
because she was supposed to be here at the very start, but something came up and plans changed, and she wasn't here until the
Sarah
second
was
week.
born 3 weeks early, that was what changed.
Is that what changed?
That was the only thing that changed. So,
I don't remember. That whole thing's kind of
I know.
just a blur.
so she came halfway through August and stayed until like the first
October?
week of October, because I went
3rd.
back the second week of October.
Yeah.
So she was here for like literally the entire summer.
That was great.
Yes. So the first 6 weeks of postpartum, I was anticipating getting postpartum depression, postpartum anxiety, but because it didn't have, well, don't put your hand in there, because it wasn't coming. I kind of didn't really think about it. But the transition, I don't know, people always ask, what's more difficult, transitioning from 0 kids to 1 or 1 to 2? And they're both challenging in their own way. I think it was a little harder this time because Eleanor was still a baby herself. She was only 19 months old at that time. Don't put your hand in that pan, it's hot. So she was still very needy. Thankfully.
It was definitely harder to go from 1 to 2 than it was to go from 0 to 1. in my opinion.
Yeah. Is it good? It doesn't need any more seasoning? Alright, well we need to make the potatoes for that. So around the 6-week mark, it hit me that I was just really sad. I think it was the day that you came home a little earlier and I was just in the bedroom just crying.
Didn't want me to talk to you, didn't want anything to do with anything, so...
Like I didn't want anything, I knew...
Mickey had gone out with one of her friends that night.
Well, what I knew was the breaking point was, one day Eleanor was she was just being a toddler. She wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary. She wasn't being especially, it's okay, not tiring or taxing that day, but she was just crying from her nap, and I realized I do not want to go deal with my toddler. I don't even want to see my toddler. And that's when I knew, okay, postpartum depression was starting to hit me. Oh, and then one day my sister had to go somewhere. I think she was still working part-time, and she had, or like per diem. No, the day I called you while you were at the stand, and I said, I just need some time, I need you to come home. I think that was one of the days she was working.
Yep, it was.
Yeah. And I was reaching my breaking point. I wasn't even 6 weeks postpartum yet. And I had to call Josh at work and tell him, like, I need you to come home because I'm about to lose it.
I have to go.
Oh, Eleanor, what are you doing? Potty. Don't pee.
Just had an accident. We're potty training.
Nope, there you go. Wash your hands. I don't even remember where my thought was.
You called me at work. You were at your breaking point.
Oh,
Mickey
yeah.
was at work.
Yeah, it was the day where I did not want to even be around my kids. And that was the day that I told you a few weeks later, I actually punched the wall.
Yep.
So, not my proudest moment, but that's when I knew, all right, I'm heading downhill, and I need to get help. But I thought I could figure it out on my own.
You thought that you would be all set.
Yes. So it was like a week after that. That was when Josh.
See her spoon feeding herself water.
Yeah. That's when Josh came home. It was a little earlier in the evening because my sister went out with her friends, and I think I had put Eleanor to bed, or Josh might have put Eleanor to bed, and then I was just in our bedroom in the rocking chair, just crying. Like I didn't want to talk to anyone. I couldn't find any words to say. I couldn't even put into words my thoughts other than I don't want to be a mom anymore, and having regrets of becoming a mom. And something else that Josh and I had talked about, I think it was before Sarah, when we started discussing having another kid. It got to the point where I was shutting Josh out too. And when I was sitting in that rocking chair, that's what I was doing, and I realized I'm shutting my own husband out. So it was the next day, I had called my midwife, and I asked if I could go on some form of medication. I wasn't exactly sure what, just because I never had to take medication for that before. And she had asked if I wanted to take Zoloft. I can't remember if she wanted me to come in for an appointment. Do you remember if she wanted me to come in for an appointment first? Oh, that's right, because I had already had my 6-week checkup, and she asked how I was doing and everything, and
You said you were doing okay.
I said I was doing okay, but, oh yeah, and I don't know if it's the same at every appointment. They have you fill out this sheet, and based off of your scores, that's when they mention, it looks like on paper it looks like you're sad or you're a little depressed, like how are you feeling? And I scored low or I scored high enough for them to mention it to me.
Your score was just below the threshold where they would consider you as being a potential for postpartum issues.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I keep butting you.
No, I need you to, because it's a little confusing, so not confusing. The timeline is just...
Yeah. But no, she had scored you low enough, or high enough.
Okay.
You had scored...
Yeah, I scored low enough where it was...
just over the threshold or just under the threshold where they were concerned for postpartum issues for you. And so when you called and asked for medication, she said since there's no real risk of major side effects, she wanted you to just start taking it. And then they gave you an appointment, I think it was what, 6 weeks after you started? Does that sound right?
It was a few weeks. It might have been like a month, maybe a month and a half after I had.
It was, again, we were in the summer, so I was kind of hectic, busy with work, so some of the dates and times are a little off.
And postpartum is just one big blur. I started on a low dose for a week, and then they bumped me up to double that. And ever since then, I've been a much happier wife and a much happier mom. Alright, so like I was saying before my card got full and it cut me off, I'm probably not going to edit. This is probably going to be like the most raw video I've ever made and put out there. Anyways, I apologize if it's like all over the place, but it's just how my mind is working and how it is right now in our house. Everything is just like go. Anyways, so after I went on Zoloft for like a month and a half, and I went back to my appointment, she wanted to check how everything was, ask me how I was doing mentally. And guys, I really love my midwife. She is fantastic. She's awesome. I can't say enough good things about her. Hey. So I felt really comfortable telling her my exact thoughts and my feelings. And she was the one who encouraged me to, I mean, she didn't push the medication on me, but she's like, it's okay if you need to go on medication. Don't think that you are a failure if you have to be medicated to be the best mom and the best wife that you can for you and your family. Went to that appointment. She asked how I was doing. I was like, I am honestly like a totally different person. I feel so good. Mentally, I'm present with my kids. And it feels really good to have that control back in my life. After that appointment, I went about with taking my medication. I was feeling really good. I was still struggling with adjusting to having 2 kids so close in age. Like, at that point, it was still 2 under 2. And, hey. And it was really hard for, I mean, Josh and I to, little snorts. That summer, last summer was one of the hardest summers, to be transparent. It was really hard for our relationship.
Yep.
And we've talked about this now. Peanut, she's doing a really good job. I remember how I said earlier that Sarah or Eleanor likes to help do a lot of things herself.
Can you angle that camera down so you can show?
Well, I'm afraid I'm gonna get her. She also likes to cook now.
Keep going.
Can you put the potatoes in there? The potatoes and the shepherd's pie.
Sorry for the slow pan down. I'm just trying to make sure I get
no inappropriate shots.
Yeah.
Because we were in the middle of potty training still. You're doing a good job. So every night, or at least the nights that I've been making dinner, Eleanor likes to help cook.
There we go. You might need to edit my big head out of half the shot. But...
So this past summer was really hard on our marriage, and like we came to terms with that, and we realized that, and we've talked a lot about that and what we can do, what we can fix, like what our expectations are and what we need to do to serve each other. Because kids are very sneaky. They don't intentionally get in the way of your marriage, but they do because they're needy. You're doing a really good job. Do you need mama's help?
I wouldn't even say the kids are needy. I'd say life itself is needy because
we have 2 kids, 2 and under.
Sneaky. They're not sneaky. Life is sneaky.
Life is sneaky, and I mean, kids unintentionally get in the middle of your relationship. As a mom, I struggle with this a lot, and I tell Josh this all the time, that I find myself constantly putting, you want my help, putting the kids above him, and that's not biblical. Nor is it fair to him. You're doing a really good job because he's my husband first. I mean, the kids are one day going to be out of the house, and it's going to be Josh and I.
But back to your point about things.
Want to talk to the camera? I need to get her passing.
Help? You want some help? So, just things that I know Julia was talking about this. That okay. Oh, can Daddy help?
Okay.
Okay. It's tough, and everybody knows that when your kids enter the mix, you're gonna go watch Lucky. When kids enter the mix, your marriage takes a hit. Like Julia said,
anticipating how big of a hit. Don't cup food.
Everyone knows your marriage takes a hit when kids enter the mix, and for me, it wasn't necessarily that I didn't expect that it was going to take a hit. I just didn't think that the recovery to getting back to Julia and I was going to take nearly as long. I didn't think it was going to take as long as it did.
We're still working on it.
Well, I think it's something that you work on
for
your entire life until the kids move out of the house.
You work on marriage
this is your video. I don't need to be front and center.
We do marriage like this. You don't do marriage like this. And we found, you're constantly growing and you're constantly...
I was going to say, I don't know what this
No,
means.
like this. You don't plateau. And for me...
No, we plateaued.
I know I plateaued. I put Josh on the back burner. I was in survival mode. I don't even know what another word for survival mode is that is, more intense than survival mode. That's where I was at.
You were in break glass in case of emergency, striving to just make it through each day survival.
Yeah. Yeah, because I told Josh, I was like, I look forward to you getting home at night just so there's another body in the house to help and to, ease the burden. I didn't even want... Phase. Yeah, we hit the roommate phase, and I didn't want my husband home to have my husband home. I wanted him home because I wanted his help.
You wanted another responsible adult home to help with the kids.
Yeah, and it's hard. What other postpartum update? It's so hard because I just don't... 6 months ago feels like 5 days ago.
Did you tell them you got the new wearable breast pump to help with milk
production? My gosh, yes, and I bit the bullet, and I got the LV breast pump.
We bit the bullet.
Yeah, we bit the bullet, and got the LV breast pump. OMG, game changer. I am one of those moms. I don't.
Hey, you gotta pee?
No. She's kicking the cheese off. I like breastfeeding. I loathe pumping. I really do. And I thought I was going to be better with having to pump because I was on my Zoloft. No, I'm just one of those people. I don't enjoy it. But you would spend more money on formula than you would on actually buying the pump and wearing it more often to pump more often. So now I am able to actually pump at my desk. I don't have to leave the room and go to a different room, hook everything up, and then pump and then unhook everything. It makes life so much easier. So I can pump on the way to work, pump 2-3 more times throughout the day, and I'm all set. And so another huge struggle that I've been having, which I had the same with Eleanor, is eating enough.
Oh.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't find myself hungry throughout the day.
And who's been telling you since day one that you needed to...
Josh has been telling me since I had Eleanor, you need to be eating enough. And he likes to lovingly compare it to a cow, a lactating cow, which is true. As soon as the mama cow is producing milk, they give her a whole bunch of
higher protein grains.
Yeah. And you hear a woman being so starving when they are breastfeeding. I am the complete opposite. Good job cooking dinner. I want nothing to do with food. And then, have I struggled with anything else besides not eating enough?
Are you talking from a mom perspective?
Just in general. Just in general.
Well, you already kind of talked about our relationship and building on that and working on that. I think just the whole balancing personal time with spousal time, with kid time, with... that's why I sent you to go get your nails done a couple weeks ago. And
yeah. It's finding time to... Oof.
She's pantsless, so we got to make sure she's not.
It's finding time to make time for yourself and have alone time, which of course I feel so guilty, and a lot of moms do, is when you have time to actually do something yourself, even if it's for a few hours, I feel incredibly guilty. And I feel incredibly guilty because I know that we don't have a lot of time as just a family because we both work full time and the commute is long. So
did you tell them that we both had to quarantine for 10 days?
Oh yeah, we did. I haven't yet. That's another thing. I think this video is just going to be a huge life postpartum update
Here's an everything update on us.
I've been word vomiting
yeah,
for like
you can
45 minutes.
You can splice it together in editing.
Yeah. So
More what?
I'm actually looking forward to going. I'll probably go this next week.
More fridge?
Your face hurts. She bit her tongue.
Oh, you bit your tongue from your cheek?
So last week and the week before we had to quarantine because we both got, ooh, nice burp. Wow. We both got sick. That was fun.
We both got the thing. You can't
yeah, we
say
both got the thing. For me,
you had it the worst.
I had it the worst. We didn't test the girls just because it feels wrong to test a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old. I'm not going to do that to them. But we both took the at-home test and it both came back positive, like, right away. It was like, boom, you're pregnant kind of thing. And
that's an analogy.
Yeah. It was like right away, and you have to wait 15 minutes, but as soon as that line was there, I was like, yeah, we're both positive. It's okay. It was nice to stay home as a family for those 10 days. Granted, by the end of...
I had to twist your arm to get you to take a test.
Yeah. But by the end of the 10 days, we were both... I was going a little stir crazy just being in the house. And we had such a cold snap. It was in the negatives many days that week. So it's not like we could have gone outside with the girls. So that really stunk. But having that time to be together as a family was such a huge blessing in disguise because we haven't had that time as a family forever. I think my fever broke Tuesday late afternoon when I took a nap, and then by Wednesday I was feeling pretty much my normal self. So that's when I decided I am potty training Eleanor during this time. She's ready, she's showing all the signs. We're just gonna do it. And it's been going so great ever since. I would just have to say, like, my advice for postpartum is if you need help and you just feel like you are not yourself, that's the first indicator. Is if you don't feel like yourself, and I'm not talking about like, oh, I just had a baby, I'm really confused, I don't know what I'm doing, that kind of thing, that's separate. I'm talking like you're starting to think that your family would be better off without you, you're not a good mom, you just don't want to be around anymore, you don't feel like yourself, that's when you need to look into getting help. And by no means am I a professional, but I've had 2 kids and I've had postpartum depression and anxiety with both of them, so I know what the feeling is like. So seek out help and do your best to try to put your spouse first. I know it is so incredibly hard to do that, and I know that by the end of the day, that is literally the last thing you want to do. It was the last thing I wanted to do. I just wanted to veg out on the couch and literally just not talk to anyone. I didn't want anyone to touch me. I didn't want to deal with anyone or anything. I just wanted me to be by myself. So having to talk to Josh and ask him how his day was and, you know, be a wife, I didn't want to do that. But our relationship suffered because of that. That played a huge role in it. So that would be my little blip of advice, is to seek out help and do your very best to have your marriage be like this and not like this. But now that I've word vomited and you caught a glimpse of our real life and what our evenings look like, I hope you enjoyed. If I can think of anything else, I'll add it. I should probably give my family dinner. It's 6 o'clock and it is getting to be Sarah's bedtime. I've been trying my best to push her bedtime further back. just because by the early hours of the morning, she is not irritable, but she's a little restless. And I'm working on sleep training her, so that's been fun. Do you see the grip she has on my face right now? Alright guys, I don't know if I have anything else to add. Honey, do you have anything else you want to add? I don't think he does, otherwise he would have said something. Alright, let's sit at the table, dinner is ready.
What?
Dinner!
Did you say something else? I was in the bathroom with Doug.
Oh, I asked if there was anything else you wanted to add.
Peanut, come on. Eleanor. You want your M&M?
Eleanor just peed on the potty, so that is really good. And every time she goes to the bathroom on her toilet and doesn't have an accent, she gets M&Ms. Honey, I know you're gonna feel sleepy. You're getting a little irritable, or you just squeaking. Oh, you're just a squeaker. Just a squeaker. Peanut, did you go on the potty?
Nah. She had to fart and there was a little shark. But
Oh, good job.
she went. So.
That's good. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
Oh, are you still filming?
Yeah.
Not?
I said if I can't think of anything else, but if there's anything else, I can just add it. To now when I edit.
I mean, the whole point of this was update, right?
It was one giant life update. Because I've been wanting to film, but our weekends.
I mean, not so much update, just advice is that.
Oh yeah, and I
never,
gave advice, yeah.
No matter how many videos you watch, books you read.
You want to come in here?
Oh, not really.
Oh, okay. Go
How
ahead.
many books you read, videos you watch, people you follow on social media, and family members that give you advice, you're always going to run into situations that you are not prepared for or you did not expect.
Yeah.
And life is going to throw things at you that you are not, I don't want to say not equipped for, but you're just not anticipating, and you're not,
Like
you don't have your feet under you. You're just caught off guard by it. And
yeah, like I knew having 2 kids, 2 and under, would be
ma'am,
extremely hard, and I knew it was going to be for just a season. Granted, I didn't know how long that season would be, and I just wasn't anticipating how difficult and how challenging and how much it would affect our relationship, our marriage.
I think that's the thing that
That
caught
was
me
the
the most
biggest
off
thing.
guard, is that I knew it was going to be a I don't like saying time sink, but I knew it was going to reduce the amount of time we had to spend together, just us.
Yeah.
But I didn't anticipate how majorly it was going to shift.
Yeah.
Not even our relationship, but the attitudes that we had towards each other, and the mentality that we had towards each other. Definitely, I don't think we've never questioned our love for each other, but like you said, we started kind of slipping into that roommate phase where we kind of felt, and we both talked about it and both agreed that we started feeling more just like roommates rather than a married couple. And that sucks. It's, I mean, especially when you haven't been married for very long, when kids come along, it's hard to let go of what your relationship was prior to kids. And at the same time, you shouldn't always you shouldn't let go of it, but you need to be willing to adjust what your relationship is going to be.
Yeah. I mean, I know you're getting frustrated. You long for the days when it was just the 2 of you and you couldn't wait until it was just the 2 of you and you could be a husband and wife, and yeah, it was just hard. But I think that is all.
It still is. I mean, it's an ongoing thing.
It is hard, but I think it's better now because we both acknowledged it and we both have talked quite a bit about it. And what I have a very fussy kid right here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.